Any of you guys who've seen my basic videos, you'll notice that I like to use a very smooth texture on most of my boards. However, these next few looks that we're going to do are going to require a different type of a texture on this. There's going to be sort of a wood grain on one of them to create a distressed wood look, and the other one's just kind of a swirl finish. So we're going to show you how to trowel some different textures right now. So just like on a real project, we're going to go ahead and finish up just putting some material right on the edge. And that buys us some time. Then we're going to trowel this out. I want to spread it over the whole thing first. Thin coat on the whole thing, and then we add a little bit here and there. Just looking for a nice even coverage. Like that. We're going to take our brush and we're going to add some, like a wood grain type of a look here. Add some knots like this. Then as it dries in, we're going to come in and add some more texture, but we'll probably wait about 5 or 10 minutes. Going to remember to brush down all the stuff on the edges to make sure that we don't have any drips or runs. And then we'll go ahead and play with it in a few more minutes. All right, so once we've done that, we're going to come in here and add some different sort of a effect going into this one. You can see this time it's creating a little bit more of a deep sort of a vein, things like that. We're going to come in and just create a knot here like this. Create a texture that flows into this one. Just some deeper spots here and there that give you something interesting to look at. Okay, and then once we do that, we're going to come in. We have a rag here that's a little bit wet, and just going to kind of come in here and take some of the material out for knots like that. Here. Right where we'd expect to find that. And we just add a little bit more texture as we'd like to. We'll let that dry and we'll end up coloring that in a little bit. Alright, so now we've got the reclaimed wood texture that we did a few minutes ago, and the formula is here in the big recipe book. What we're going to do is we're going to take the rubbing stones and we're going to slightly knock off any burrs or on there. And we're going to brush it off. Then we've got our color over here. These are all dispersion colors. We've got mortar gray, blue steel, forest green, and Kodiak. Now, we've already mixed 3 capfuls per 24 ounces of water into all these, and we're going to do this last one just to show you how it's done. So we're going to mix up those into the water and give it a good shake. I'm going to take this board and we're going to wet it with some water first. And then I'll get the first bit of color on, and then we'll get a close-up so you can see how it looks from there. So you're lightly misting it with water just to get it so that it's a little bit of standing water on there. Kind of allows the color to marbleize out a little bit. So while that's still wet, you're going to cover the whole thing with the mortar gray. Now we're going to take the blue steel and we're going to, about 40% of this, we're going to come in and kind of create a directional sort of a veining. Like I said, about 40% or so of that. Make sure you get some on the edges where it comes across so that it looks like it should. Like that. Then we're going to take the forest green. This one we're going to do the same thing, but with about 20% of the total. I'm going to come in and some of the other areas, like 20% or so, just to get a nice little bit there. Then we're going to take the first color that we did, and we're going to kind of speckle that on here and there to kind of tie it back together a little bit. Get the edges a little bit like that. So then we're going to take and kind of take a paper towel and kind of dab up some of the water and give it some of this. Again, we're going a little directionally. We're just going to take a little bit of the colors. We're blending them a little bit. Then we take the last color and we're going to mist this over the top about 40 to 50% of the whole surface. So we're going to like that. We're going to allow that to dry. Make sure we get a little bit on the edges. Allow that to dry and we will call that finished.